Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Simon Fear, and today I will show you the other ending to this game. The one where we take power with Christopher.
Has anyone ever made it this far?
Dominatio per
He's
malum.
the first,
Power
and it appears he may be the last as well.
So, what happens now?
Now, dear girl, our work can finally begin. Soon, I will make the dilemma of free will nothing more than a distant memory in the history of humankind. And this is the man who will help me do it. Ignorant girl. Did you honestly think a simple knife would be enough to stop me?
Roberto, don't...
Seems a bit excessive, but I've done a fair share of excessive stuff myself.
Stay back, you motherfucker!
Roberto, you must realize at this point that you were brought here for a reason. You were always meant to be here. You're the key to everything.
I said stay back! I know what you've been doing here. What you've done to all those innocent people.
You must understand. I only did what was necessary.
Necessary? You're a fucking monster.
Monster, psychopath, God. I've been called many things over the last century, Roberto. But do you know what all those things have in common? Power. Power to see the bigger picture. Power to take one's destiny into his own hands. Power to overcome death itself.
Dominatio per malum.
Of choice. Join me, Roberto. Let us become the masters of our own destiny. Together.
I sure will, Christopher.
How did it all come to this?
From what I understand, it all started in 2060. The girl, Emily, I imagine she must have come into contact with one of our future experiments. As a result, she now possesses great power, a divine gift that became a heavy burden, I'm sure.
But why lock her in a tank?
The girl was simply a variable. She needed to be controlled. She was too strong, unpredictable. I had to ensure that she didn't subvert any of my plans. Our plans, Roberto. But none of that matters now. She has commenced her long journey back to the past to set the cycle in motion once again. All to bring you here, to this moment.
So, what now?
I've searched for you for so long, Roberto. Come, our future awaits. To the principle of free will.
Dominatio per malum. Power to evil. Not bad. Not bad indeed. now, let's have a look at some extras. Seems like a rather lovely play, like my Fear Manor, with my wife and 5 children. Let's have a look at each item. I assume this one belonged to Roberto Lopez. What is this paper? Sheet music. Veruca, an internationally recognized pianist, is finally coming to Brazil for an exclusive performance. Eager for this opportunity, she spends hours rehearsing her incredible routine. Veruca has always wanted to visit Brazil to see the site, but will only be able to do so after her performance. She does not allow herself to make any mistakes during her pieces. Not a single note can be missed. She does not allow herself to lose even a millisecond of time for her practice, either. After all, it is this level of perfection that made her who she is. Fascinating. Glasses, reading glasses. I see some crack. No, not crack. Probably just a way of how it is molded. Another one of the gifted doctors within the sacred trail, Bueno feels uncomfortable when things start to get over the edge. Because he fears for his life and the lives of his family, he remains loyal to the sacred trail, following its protocol against his will. He knows that the sacred trail uses extreme measure to keep its activity secret, and he is a man who knows too much. MP3 player, music player, Anderson Robson, the wrong guy in the wrong place. Ah, that makes me laugh. The book, The Origin of Species. Ricardo Lima is a renowned scientist who explores and demystifies supernatural events. When he was invited by Stephanie to help solve some mysteries of Tres Trilhas, he immediately seized the opportunity, believing that he would be able to unravel the long history of strange events in the town. Although he was able to develop some theoretical explanation to the event in question, he has yet to explain how these things happen in practice. It seemed that even science needs a little faith. As Ricardo himself would say, everything in nature follows the same set of defined scientific rules. In order for all of this to function, everything had to have been studied, experimented with, and incremented upon. Therefore, if a creator does truly exist, he must be a scientist. And I bet Clayton would agree to this matter. He is a Christian, after all, a Lutheran at that. Pendant. Heart pendant. A brilliant civil engineer and loving mother of 3 children, Rosine Lacarda comes to Tres Trilhas for the inaugural event of one of her large enterprise. Her stay at the hotel, which she expects to be extremely brief, is extended for months. She is a key figure among the survivors in the hotel, guiding everyone to areas with the safest structural integrity, unlikely to further degrade or collapse entirely. Magic Cube. Toy. Rivaldo Lim Soares is a lonely resident of Tres Trilhas who, quote-unquote, by luck, won an all-inclusive week stay at the St. Dinfna Hotel. Mining helmet. Matthias is an experienced miner, a long-time friend of Christopher and his family. Invited directly to take part in Christopher's endeavors at the coal mine, Matthias comes to the camp and brings along a select team of experienced men for the job. While not the most eloquent of individual, Matthias is highly intelligent and intuitive. He prides himself on quickly realizing when someone is lying. A gas mask. Broken. Son of Davy Menendez, Aquiles was an ordinary happy boy who had the dream of becoming a professional athlete. He lived very well until the age of 15, when his family discovered that he suffered from a rare degenerative pathology. In addition to the debilitating effect of the condition on his physical body, the realization that he could no longer pursue his dream in the sporting world took a massive toll on the boy's mental health, soon falling into a deep depression. Thanks to his father's efforts, the boy was permitted to receive treatment from the Sacred Trail using some of the group's experimental technology. As time went by, Aquiles became the main subject of all the group's experiment due to his high stamina and tolerance for pain. Ironically, as many would soon come to realize, Aquiles' illness became his greatest strength. Ring. Anacleto is one of the last remaining fanatical member of the Sacred Trail and of Christopher. After years of dedicating his life to the sect, following its teaching and guideline, he believes that he will fulfill his life's purpose, even in death. With knowledge about the prophecies and prediction put forth by Christopher, he knew that there is no reason to fear. Everything that happened has a specific and calculated reason, all for the principle of free will. A pocket watch. Traveling alone, Christopher migrates from Austria to Brazil to pursue his family's long-time goal and tradition. With hope and fear, he takes over the leadership of the family coal mine located in Tres Trilhas. He learned to always put reason ahead of his emotion, as he believed that this is the best way to build his autonomy and independence, qualities which are necessary to become a leader that anyone would be willing to follow. A gold earring. If we can single out one quality in sorry about that. If we can single out one quality in Stephanie, it is her loyalty. Even when she is forced to do things she would never do of her own accord, she never leaves her conviction behind. In accepting to work for Christopher, she saw a chance to make a real difference, to make things right, once and for all. Or, a precious gem. Marcos was a committed but very superstitious miner. He could never hide his fear of the old local legend of Tres Trilhas. Fascinating. A photo from 1945. Davy Menezes is, above all else, Aquiles Menezes' father. After years of watching his son suffer, He accepts condition put forth by experimental treatment, which promised to cure the boy's rare disease. Over time, Davy becomes one of the main leaders of the Sacred Trail and its experiment. Unfortunately, his intense desire to improve his son's quality of life eventually warps his sense of morality, and he starts to do horrible things in the name of the Sacred Trail and its goal. A rose. Remember. Remember. Beautiful. A stethoscope. Dr. Roger Litau is a brilliant man who left his wife at home and came to Trilhaz to investigate a serious and unknown infection. Even with his years of experience, he has never seen anything like what was happening in the town. He is a key figure in the survival of all the guests, who are also trapped in a hotel, making many decisions to help the group stay alive. His wisdom comes not only from his years in the medical field, but also from his general life experience as well. A military ID. Paiva is a man with strong conviction and military training. His presence at the hotel was fundamental to everyone surviving for as long as they did. Working closely together with Dr. Latau, he viewed himself and the other survivor as a cohesive unit. Unfortunately, there were some in the group who did not always share the same sentiment. He carries a great deal of guilt for not being able to save everyone, much less himself, and he regrets not being able to tell his family goodbye once he meets his end. Tragic. Tragic indeed. A wristwatch. An ancient clock which belonged to a man who did everything he could in search of the truth. Motivated by curiosity, and while he did discover many things, the Sacred Trail could not allow the world to know its secrets. Petri dish. Microorganism sample. One of the leading scientists within Sacred Trail, Favero works in the chemical wing of the facility. He is a man who is obsessed with his work, seeing no problem in carrying out experiments, no matter how extreme. And finally, a step bunny. Emily is perceived in many ways. She is seen as a ghost by some, and an important variable by others. But what is she really? Emily is an ordinary 11-year-old girl who was involved in an accident during a scientific experiment. Her entire motivation is based on the most simple and pure desire of any child, the love of her father. While her experiences after the accident have certainly made her a tough young girl, Emily's decision-making is still strongly motivated by her feeling and emotion. Fascinating stuff. Let's have a look at the secrets here. A key. I see a keyhole. I see a painting of what I assume to be a game dev. What is this exactly? Seems like some object. Yikes. He'd seen better days. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, friends, I believe we shall put an end to this series. I hope y'all enjoyed Clayton's series, and as he said, God bless.